Y'all, this is the case that does not stop giving. Letecia is like a bad case of chlamydia.
She just doesn't go away.
Y'all already know I've got some stuff to say about Letecia today. Things have been popping off with her in the news media, and I project that it's just going to get worse. So let's talk about the most recent things. First of all, she's at it again, y'all. She's trying to escape out of that jail. She doesn't want anything to do with it. I couldn't believe it when I saw it, and actually I take that back. I could believe it because at this point, anything is possible with her. So she was trying to escape through her window by using a broom to break it out. Now this evidence came forward through another inmate, and she was basically like, look, here's the drill. This girl's trying to jump out the damn window. I don't want anything to do with her. Nobody wants anything to do with her. And the guards are kind of like, they interviewed this woman or whatever, and they're like, well, why do you think that she went to you? And she's like, well, I'm kind of like a bad guy type person. And honestly, y'all, I don't even know what this lady looks like, but I just think Ma Fratelli from the Goonies. I don't know why. Another thing that surprises me about it is that Letecia is actually ballsy enough to, number one, just even talk to the other inmates. In my world, I'm like, aren't they, horrible to you? You know what I mean? Even though she's on a keep segregated from all, I just can't believe that she's ballsy enough to even attempt to talk to someone to think that they might even help her. Now, one thing she did try and do with this is bribe them with money. And in this letter, it wrote something to the effect of, GPA's put in 75 grand in an account for a private attorney, but I'd rather use that money to survive. And I'm just like, well, hello. So any one of her family members that's helping out with this, situation, I'm sure is looking at it like, well, we don't want to give her any money now. Outside of that, I'm also like, where does she think she's going to go? There's just really nowhere to turn. So in this letter, she also wrote, look, I can guarantee that we're going to be MIA. I got us covered. And it's almost like she's almost talking like, hey, girl, look, I got us, girl. You just, help me out with this situation. I've done my measurements. I've seen that movie about Alcatraz. I'm ready to go. Now, they also discovered a letter in Letecia's cell addressed to her daughter, and it was saying things like, look, don't freak out if you see that I'm not in jail anymore. And, that part, of course, doesn't surprise me, but I also just find it really sad because at this point, I'm just like, oh my God, quit victimizing more and more people in this case and around you. She's already done this horrible thing. Now people have to sit here and read this in the paper and see this, and it's like, girl, just stop. Now, at her hearing on Friday, they did set bail for this new charge of escape at $2,000. So, it's for real. They have charged her. And while the $2,000 is a very low bond, it's basically completely useless. And speaking of that hearing, I have a few thoughts on that too. So, y'all, Letecia was back in court on Friday, and apparently she was maskless, hair all over her damn face like the Wicked Witch of the West, sitting up in there, guilty as all sin. Now, in response to some motions filed, the judge is saying that she has to undergo an evaluation to determine if she is competent to stand trial. They basically want to see if she's out of her mind. And I'm like, y'all think? Now, here's my take on that real quick. I can save the state some money. Send me the bill. Okay. Is she crazy? Yes. Is she that kind of crazy? No. She's that kind of evil crazy. She 100% knew what she did. It is what it is. This very much reminds me of the Tim Jones Jr. thing, where he was trying to plead insanity. That's honestly what I personally think she's going to do. It's really the only thing. We will see. But I do not believe that she was, not in her right faculties. I don't believe that she's not in her right faculties now. I just think that this dark evilness within her is just coming out. Now, y'all, she's supposed to be picked up within the next 7 days by the state mental hospital. And basically the judge is like, now look, if you're found incompetent, we're gonna, pause the trial a little bit until you're ready to come back. They ain't letting her off the hook. This is just going to drag things out. It's going to put things on pause. Essentially, and that's what one of the attorneys was saying. Like, you know what, this is just a little hiccup, I think he said, or a little bump or a wrinkle or something like that. And that's all it is, because y'all, trust me, y'all think that she was popping off in the headlines with the escape. I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now, y'all. Some next level BS is getting ready to come out of her. She attacked an officer on the way to Colorado. Now she's trying to escape. You think she's going to fare any better when she gets to the mental hospital? I'm guessing that the mental hospital is a little bit more comfy than jail. And so I'm thinking, y'all better dot your damn I's and cross your T's with this thing up in there. Because let me tell you what, another thing's coming. Nothing's coming. Now, she's sloppy. We know this. She is sloppy. So whatever she tries will be obvious. Just like writing your escape plans down on a piece of paper and giving it to someone. I mean, hello. Now, a couple of other things that came out during this. The prosecutor said that they did use a piece of jawbone to make a positive identification to poor little Gannon. Now, also in response to the attorney saying that they couldn't get to Letecia and that she needed bail and all this stuff, which, I mean, y'all, we knew that wasn't going to happen. But the judge, asked about that, and the attorney's basically like, yeah, you know what, I've been able to get access, but sometimes they might say I can see her at 8 and it really ends up being 11. And the judge is like, I'm gonna assume that, what, if you're going to see this file thing, then everything's okay. So she's supposed to be back in court in September, so we're just gonna see, y'all. Like I said, mark my calendar, mark my words right here. When they talk about they're coming to pick her up to take her off to the hospital, just turn the TV on, YouTube, Twitter, whatever you need to do. Something's gonna pop off. So that's it. Click these other videos if you want to hear more of my commentary on this case and the Vallows case, and check the other video out if you want to see something other than that. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.